Hello, and welcome to Piano Tech Hub, your source for all things piano technology. I'm Micah, and today we are doing a comparative review of the most used piano tuning levers available in 2024. The tuning lever is an inherently personal tool with a great deal of subjectivity as to what works for whom. Things like body type, hand size, and tuning technique will all affect how a particular lever works for a particular piano technician. That being said, I've attempted to review these piano tuning levers as objectively as possible with the following criteria. Tuning a minimum of 4 pianos, 2 uprights, and 2 grands, I've rated each one on its comfort, control, and appearance using a 5-point scale. A few things about me that may add a degree of subjectivity to this review. I am 5 foot 9 inches tall, I wear an extra large glove size, and I was diagnosed with arthritis in both of my hands a couple of years ago. These all affect how certain levers work for me. Your experience may differ. Keep that in mind throughout this review. Now I know you're saying, wait, hold on, Micah. Isn't appearance a totally subjective metric? To which I say, yes. However, I tune over 1,000 pianos a year, and I'm staring at a lever all day long. It better look nice. I pulled multiple online forums of professional piano technicians on what their daily tuning levers were. From those results, I've selected the top 7 most voted levers out of 393 votes and thrown in one honorable or dishonorable mention just because I wanted to. Without further ado, let's begin. Coming in 7th place with 15 votes or 3.8% of the total vote, the Randy Cotto lever. This particular lever is the hybrid design, 12 inches in length with the 2 1/4 to 2 3/8 inch ball size. I ordered the 15-degree head with the Prestige 1A tip. The total weight of this lever is 7.4 ounces, including the tip. The lever was $529, and the tip was an additional $155, coming in at a total of $684 US. I love how lightweight this lever is. It's nicely balanced and easy to move quickly from pin to pin. However, I wish the grip was more spherical. It has a nice radius on one side, but it is extremely flat on the top, resulting in a tight radius right where my hand rests. This focuses the pressure into my hand in a small area and causes a moderate amount of discomfort while tuning. It felt more comfortable on uprights due to a different grip. I really wanted to love the way this lever felt, but this shape just doesn't work well for my hand. I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars for comfort. Absolutely brilliant control. It is totally rigid with no flex. The pin fit is incredible, and fine adjustments are easy and predictable. My only complaint with control is the 15-degree head recommended by the maker just feels a little bit steep with this particular grip design. I was experiencing more flag pulling than normal with how steep the angle was, and I was able to compensate for it, but it was not immediately intuitive. I think I would have preferred a 12.5-degree head. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 for control. This lever features gorgeous figured walnut that I was actually able to choose on Randy's website. The carbon fiber is sleek and the head design is techy. I really like his logo right here, and the Prestige tip looks great. I really like the high gloss finish and how it looks and feels in the hand. Nearly perfect, except for 2 tiny spots of what I think is friction polish under the clear coats, right on the upper side of the grip. I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5 for appearance. Overall, I was very impressed with this lever. It's clearly very well made and is a modern take on a classic tool from a fairly new creator in the space. The amount of custom options available is impressive. I think one of the other lever shapes available would fit my hand better, but I can't blame the maker for that. Coming in at a 4.2 out of 5 total. Tied for 6th place is the Jahn extension lever. This received 16 votes out of 4.1%. It is 10 1/4 inches long to 15 3/4 inches long with the extension capability, has a straight grip, a 5-degree head with a number 2 tip, and weighs 18 ounces. This was $345 from Schaff. The thicker straight grip is more comfortable than some of the other more narrow levers, but not by a lot. It applies pressure into the base of my index finger and thumb webbing, right here and here, causing discomfort in my palm. It is ridiculously heavy and is tiresome to move from pin to pin. It is also very poorly balanced when extended like this. All of the weight is in the head and the steel shank, none of it is out here, so it just feels very awkward. The tip has a nice fit on the pins. When fully compact, I could feel the pins fairly well, but it's so short, it was difficult to move them. When extended 2.5 inches or more, there is a comical amount of flex, and the sense of the pen is all but gone. I couldn't find a happy medium. The weight of the lever causes significant flag pulling problems and is awkward to move from pen to pen. 2 out of 5. I like the look when compact. The wood is simple, but it's finished nicely. It feels really good. I like the brass ferrule right here, and the knurling on the adjustment knob is quite nice. It looks pretty silly when extended though. It doesn't inspire at all, but it looks fine like this. Silly like this. 3.5 out of 5. This lever feels outdated. The steel internals are so heavy compared to materials available with modern levers, and they flex just way too much. It looks nice, but I would not recommend this lever, given what's available today. My hand hurts, and I'm tired. 2.3 out of 5 stars overall. Coming in tied at 5th and 6th place is the Jahn fixed tuning lever. It's got 16 votes, or 4.1%. There's a straight grip available as well as this pear-shaped grip available. I chose to go with the pear shape. This is 11 inches overall, 15-degree head with a number 2 tip, weighs 10.4 ounces overall, and is $183 from Schaff. Quick disclosure about this lever. This was my first one out of school 11 years ago, and it is identical to what they still sell today, so I kept my old one. I just put a new Jahn tip on it and tried to ignore any wear that the lever has experienced over the last 11 years that the other levers have not had a chance to develop. I tuned less than 1,000 pianos with it, and it still kind of looks beat up, but we're not reviewing durability. I like the pear-shaped grip quite a bit with this hammer and the gentle radius it has. It's a bit small for my hand, but not bad. I do not like the texture of the grip. It feels like an oil finish instead of a film finish like a lacquer or epoxy like a lot of these other levers, and it just doesn't feel right in the hand. The overall weight is fine, but it is all right here. It's oddly balanced and just kind of feels weird when you're moving it around. 3 out of 5. The tip fits well, but there is just a huge amount of flex in this lever. I can feel the tension building up in the lever before it snaps straight and just translates all that tension into pin movement, and it's quite difficult to control. Small adjustments are very difficult when that's happening. The unbalanced weight I mentioned makes moving it quickly quite awkward, and it's the only lever I felt I couldn't get nice clean unisons with easily. I really had to work for it with this lever, and it was quite tiring. It's very utilitarian. The wood is simple but has a poor finish. The metal design here is fine but uninspiring and outdated, it feels. The whole thing is just kind of fine for appearance. 2.5. Overall, I was really hoping this would be a good budget contender for this list of levers, but with the flex I'm experiencing, I'm not sure that it is. I can still tune with it, but I'm definitely slower than with other levers, and I really had to work harder for good results. 2.3 out of 5 stars. Coming in 4th place with 21 votes, or 5.3%, is the Levitan Classic. 11 inches overall with a straight grip, a 7.5-degree welded head, and a number 2 Watanabe tip. This is 8.5 ounces overall weight. This is $175 from Schaff. I like how light and easy this lever is, but it's just not very comfortable. The straight grip is not ergonomic at all and narrowly applies pressure to the same spots that the Jahn did, causing a fair amount of discomfort. Slightly better on uprights due to the different grip, but my hand still hurt after use. 2 out of 5. The tip fit was decent, but a little bit looser than I'd like. It was quite rigid, but I felt very disconnected to the pins because of some quality control issues. The rosewood handle is really poorly fitted to this tubular shank here. There's a huge gap in this joint, no epoxy at all, and there's visible movement. You can actually hear it. That feels like a tuning pin moving in the block when you're tuning with it, which is obviously really bad if the tuning pin's not actually moving in the block. It really confused the feeling of using this lever and made it, frankly, really miserable to tune with. 2 out of 5. The polish on the metal is nice. The simple rosewood grip is not bad. I don't hate the finish on it. Unfortunately, the joint between the two is just simply awful, like I mentioned. I do like the welded head look. I think it's a quite tidy weld, but overall the design is simple and utilitarian, and it is losing a point for the quality control issues, 2 out of 5. This is a popular budget lever that I actually used for a couple of years in the middle of my career. I stopped using it when it was stolen, and I just purchased a new one for this review specifically. Unfortunately, these quality control issues are bad, and I don't know how common they are. Maybe I got a total lemon, I don't know. I'm hoping Schaff will exchange it for me, but I didn't have time to do that before I needed to get this review out. It might be a good budget option for you, but do beware of potential quality control issues. 2 out of 5 stars. All right, I'm interrupting our previously scheduled piano tuning lever review to throw in a lemon for you. This is the dishonorable mention. This is the Amazon lever. This received only 2 votes out of 393 votes, thank God. However, I had to try it because it's only $26.99 and includes a whole kit of junk mutes and a bag. 12 inches in overall length. No idea what the head angle is, no idea what the tip is. However, it is 10.5 ounces, which is oddly heavy for such a small profile. My hand ached basically instantly after using this lever. The grip is just way too narrow, making the tendons around the base of my index finger hurt quite a bit. Oddly heavy for its small profile, awkwardly balanced, and the steel shank makes moving the lever weird grabbing it here. 1 out of 5. There is a lot of flex in this lever, a very poor connection to the pin, and an undersized tip that is just not seating right on most pins. The balance is bad, it's awkward to move, but I did still manage to get some decent tunings with it. I just hated the entire experience. 1.5 out of 5. The metal finish is super uneven. The wooden handle was already split when I got it out of the box. The finish actually feels okay on it though. 1.5 out of 5. You know, I am glad that I reviewed this lever, but I'm even more glad that I never have to tune with it again. If you're a piano owner wanting to dabble in tuning your own piano maybe once a year, this could work for you, especially given the price. You can tune a piano with it. However, if you're gonna charge anyone even a single dollar to tune their piano, you deserve a better tuning lever. Excuse me a moment. Coming in third place with 42 votes and 10.7% is the Rayburn Rigid. 13 inches overall, 2.5 inch ball grip, 12.5 degree head with the number 2 Taffian tuning tip, and weighs 12 ounces overall. This comes in at $645 and is available at RayburnTools.com. Quick disclaimer, in the online polls there was some confusion between the Rayburn Rigid and the Rayburn Cyberhammer Impact tuning lever lines, resulting in a combination of some votes. So I'm guessing this actual vote count is somewhat inflated for just the rigid model because I think some Cyberhammer votes got put here by accident. Also, I should say, has been my daily tuning lever for the last 2 years. I've tuned some 1,600 plus pianos with it, and for this review, I put a brand new number 2 Taffian tip on it from Reyburn and did my best to review it objectively, if that's even possible. This lever is incredibly comfortable. The large 2.5 inch ball fits my hand perfectly, and the consistent radius spreads out the pressure evenly across my hand and prevents any sort of pressure points like some of the other levers have. The nub near the neck is a really nice indexing point for moving the lever quickly without looking, as it's right at the balance point. The shape is also surprisingly versatile for a number of grips. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. Brilliant connection to the pin. Very little flex or flag pulling. The new tip fits firmly, but not quite as nice as the Prestige tip did. It's fast and easy to move, surprisingly lightweight for its size, and I've only had clearance issues with one Blutner that had just extremely tall plate struts, and in that case, I just had to switch to a left-handed grip, and then I could get around the plate struts up in the treble. I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5. Lost a half point because of the tip fit. I mean, come on. The stabilized maple is just absolutely gorgeous with tons of other wood options available. The epoxy finish is extremely durable and beautiful. The head is techy and sleek. I like the little cute mouse on the tuning tip here. The lever looks brand new after over 1,600 tunings, which is just really incredible. 5 out of 5. Okay, I realize this is probably a biased review, but this is basically everything I want from a piano tuning lever. Comfortable, high control, show-stopping appearance, which gets a lot of compliments from clients, except that one client who thought it looked like a bar tap as well as a bong. If you pair this lever with a prestige tip, you'll be unstoppable. It is worth noting that Rayburn just released his new proprietary Rayburn Pro Tip tuning tip that he's now selling with all of his levers instead of this Taffion tip. I haven't tried it yet, but I will be soon, and I'm wondering, will it rival the prestige tip? We'll find out in a later video. 4.8 out of 5. Coming in second place with 66 votes, or 16.7%, is the Charles Faulk. This is 12 inches exactly in overall length, pear-shaped grip. The head angle, I actually don't know. Give me a second here. A number 2 Itoshin tuning tip, 8.6 ounces overall, and the head angle, I'm actually not sure about it. I haven't seen it in writing anywhere, and it's not labeled on the lever, but comparing it to the other levers, it looks like a 10 or a 12.5 degree head. This is $370 and is available at fulkpiano.com. This is the CF-Lite model, which is his newer iteration. He used to use a reinforced titanium shank, and he switched over to this carbon fiber tube in the last couple of years, I believe. This lever instantly felt natural and comfortable to use. It's extremely lightweight and fast. Multiple grips feel good. The radius of the grip is slightly small for my hand, but I think it's an excellent compromise in size that will work for the most number of technicians possible. It evenly spread pressure throughout my hand with no pressure points and was comfortable to tune all day with. 5 out of 5. A very direct connection to the pen with no flex at all. The tip fits tightly and I feel an excellent control of the pen the entire time. It's easy to move very quickly from pen to pen. It is worth noting the first couple of tunings this tip would stick a little bit on the tuning pins and I have to kind of work it off, but it did break in quite quickly and that went away, so no lost points there. 5 out of 5. Absolutely beautiful design. It's not as flashy as the Rayburn or Cotto levers, but it's quite elegant in its simplicity. The finish is a lovely semi-gloss, and I really liked the finished feel of the carbon fiber. The machining is crisp, the turning quality of the mesquite is excellent. My only note is that the finish had a minor drip in it and a few minor blemishes in the right light when I received it, and has already gotten one ding from being in my tuning kit just under normal use. It's a very small complaint, but this is a review after all. 4.5 out of 5. I've wanted to try a Fulk lever for years now, and I'm really glad I did once he made the switch to carbon fiber, as I'm just absolutely blown away by this lever. He wasn't selling any levers as he geared up for the PTG annual convention this year, but I contacted him, told him I was working on a review, and he was willing to sell me this lever anyway. So thank you so much, Charles. I'm going to shake your hand in Reno. 4.8 out of 5. The number 1 most voted tuning lever with 116 votes, or 29% of the total vote, is the Fujan CarbonTube. This has a bunch of options online depending on what you order, but this is what I got specifically. The 7 3/8 inch tube with a 4-inch extension. It's 11 to 15 inches in overall length if you're using this. Has a 10-degree head with the 40mm number 2 Jahn tip. It was $375 for this, plus $100 for the extension, coming in at $475 total, and is available at fuonproducts.com. This lever was moderately comfortable. The ball grip is a little bit small for my hand and made the heel of my hand kind of achy. I don't like the unfinished carbon fiber tube at all. It feels cheap without a finish. It's easy to move, but it's so lightweight for its size that it kind of feels cheap. 3 out of 5. Virtually no flex with this lever and an immediate connection to the tuning pins. However, it felt both too short and way too long with the sizes that I purchased. Requires a lot of force to move the pins while short, which makes my hand hurt, but it does provide an excellent sense of pin movement. It's very easy to move the pins while long, but I felt disconnected from the actual pin motion because I was so far away from the pin. It's very easy to flag pull while long as well. The thick head design here, while kind of cool looking, it creates some clearance problems on pins that are really close to case parts, especially in the basemost. I do wish that I got the 9 3/8 inch tube with no extension instead of the short tube and the long extension that I got. I think I would have had a more positive experience with this lever. 3 out of 5. The carbon fiber feels cheap without a finish on it, and I do wish this ball would come in different wood options. It's also worth noting that the wood that I got is not the nice rosewood that was pictured online. I don't know what this is. I like the look of the head, but like I said, functionally, it's just too wide. The finish scratched multiple times just from going in out of my kit, and there's dings all over this ball already, so it's not durable at all. And overall, I'm just not connecting with the design. 3 out of 5. I was really excited to try this lever, seeing how so many other piano technicians use it daily. It's fine, but I am a little bit disappointed with it, to be honest. For the price, I want a nicer finish and wood options. Except for the modularity available with the Fuon, I would choose the Fulk lever 10 out of 10 times when compared with this, for being in a similar price range. 3 out of 5 overall. If you've been keeping track, you already know who the winner is, but before I get to that, this review was not sponsored by any of these makers. I purchased all of these levers personally at full price because I was bothered by the fact that a comparative review didn't exist already, at least not that I could find, and I wanted to make it happen. If this review was helpful to you in any way, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and maybe share it with your technician friends. I plan on making a lot more content like this in the future, so drop me a comment with any feedback or topics you'd like to see in the future. All right, so after all this blabbing, what actually is the best piano tuning lever available in 2024? Tied for first place, we have the Rayburn Full Rigid and the Faulk CF-Lite, coming in at 4.8 out of 5 stars. They are both brilliant tuning levers that I would happily use daily. I'm actually still not sure if the Rayburn will remain my daily tuning lever or if the Faulk has won that spot. I'm curious how the durability of the CF-Lite will compare to the Rayburn Full Rigid, but that is beyond the scope of this review. Here are the total rankings for everything. Rayburn Full Rigid, tied for first place, 4.8 out of 5. Faulk CF-Lite, tied for first place, 4.8 out of 5. Second place, we have the Cotto Hybrid with 4.2 out of 5. In third place, the Fujan CarbonTube with 3 out of 5. Tied for fourth place, we have the Jahn extension and the Jahn Pearwood, 2.3 out of 5. In fifth place, we have the Levitan Classic, 2 out of 5. And last but certainly least is the Amazon lever with 1.3 out of 5. Excuse me again. Thank you so much for watching this far, if you're still here. The tuning lever is the most important tool in any piano technician's kit, and it's easily the most personal one. These are just my personal thoughts on these levers, so if you disagree wildly or are bummed out about any of the results, fight me in the comments. I love you all. Stay tuned for more.